Welcome back, everybody. We are getting ready to kick off with the winners match, and that's going to be ENCE versus Wizards. Most of the players are already in the lobby. They're ready to start vetoing the maps, and yeah, once again, that is going to be interesting. Since Wizards, they've done well on King's Row, they've done well on Nepal. What you can say is that maybe they're a little bit like slow starters. They can lose this first point on assault and then they'll get the 3-1. Then on the attack, they're going to get a good attempt, but then they can be a little bit worse on the defense. But when it just goes down to the second round, they will obliterate. For ENCE, though, they had some trouble on Nobani, but they overall, it seemed like they demolished their enemies, right? So what do you expect from this matchup, Sylvanas?
It's going to be tough, but I think Wizards will win because they seem to be more solid than ENCE, as they struggled on Numbani in the first round, but it could just have been an exception. So I think it will be 2-1 for sure, but for Wizards.
Oh, okay. That way. Yeah, might be that Wizards will try to push Numbani through in the veto to try and use that weakness that ENCE have shown. I'm not too sure, though, if they will try to risk it that way. But sure, there is a possibility of that happening. Although ENCE, in terms of the ranking, they're much higher than Wizards. Tier 3 is even higher than Wizards, but of course the ranking doesn't mean so much. However, this far, it has been a solid indicator on paper. Like Wizards, well, better than Mix. They already got a lot of like show out there. They were dominating the Spanish scene, so they won against a mostly Spanish team, right? Now tier 3, they already lost 1-2 against ENCE pre recently. They have like a mixed recent performance, sometimes winning, sometimes losing. While ENCE, they have only victories. They are on a winning streak for quite a bit of time now. They will definitely want to hold on to it. And winning this match will already give them a great shot at qualifying to the online finals, first of all. Because, see, I already told you about the differences from the other Legend series, but I never told you that we're going to have an online finals first with 4 teams, top 4 teams, top 1 teams from each group, from each of the 4 groups. And then these 4 teams will battle it out to leave 2 standing, and only 2 teams will be invited to the LAN finals. So we're like slimming them down a little bit, but let's go. Yep, we're getting into the drafts, and all the players are in the lobby, so we will be hopping into the game real soon if you are getting impatient.
Okay. The Temple of Anubis got banned. And Tanamura as well.
Oh, yeah. So we're not going to get to see that. Once again, Lijiang, Nepal, Route 66, Kings Row, and Hollywood are left out there. So these are probably the maps that will be left to pick 3 out of 5 of them. Volskaya Industries, probably the next ban from Wizards. Unless they want to force ENCE to ban it next. Because probably nobody will want to have it left out there.
Yeah. Okay, I actually did that.
It's not okay. Yeah, Volskaya Industries, and say I would have been interested to see them actually not taking the bait and possibly leaving that Volskaya out there. Then Wizards probably would be like mixed or wouldn't really necessarily know what to do. But then would it necessarily happen? Wizards banned Numbani, Oasis, and yeah, interestingly enough, Numbani was their first ban, so they're not trying to like expend that weakness of ENCE's. And they banned Temple of Anubis only of these heavy attack points. And yeah, Hanamura, Volskaya, they were both left to insane.
Yeah.
So we get 2 King of the Hill. Yeah, that's true. Good call from there. Lijiang Tower and Nepal. Nepal being the first map then. And that's now the question. In my opinion, Wizards are the ones who will want to go for the King of the Hill, right? Since they already played it, since they've done very well against a team that picked the King of the Hill, and then they also have Lijiang Tower. But if they lose, if they lose, they can pick it. if ENCE lose Nepal, they'll probably go for Route 66, and then, as you said, we can very easily have a 2-1 scoreline between these two teams.
So ENCE had, yeah, both teams played dive, but Wizards, yeah, they didn't play Sombra. It was the other team, so it will be. They actually played Zarya, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Venara decided to play a little bit of the Zarya. Veteran Junior and Sora mostly played a Tracer and Genji. So that's this King of the Hillish kind of composition that I was talking about already. No soldier most of the time. Did we ever see a soldier from them throughout the entire best of 3? I don't think so. Or maybe Veteran was playing it one time on King's Row. Yeah, that's an opportunity, but definitely much less than in the matchup that we saw earlier. Then Beta was playing that soldier very solidly most of the time.
Yeah, from Wizards, we see completely standard dive composition. On the other team, there might be some adjustments.
Yeah, for now they're just goofing around for sure with this lineup. Or actually, I don't know. You already mentioned that there might be a little bit of a possibility of picking that Orisa, so no, never mind, Kali.
Yeah, but not here.
Back to the Diva. Back to the Diva again.
But for a Mercy, it's again. And yeah, let's see. Could be a possibility that this is working, as they don't have a soldier, but if they're able to just clean the ground and then leaving Farah on her own, could work
It's
out.
not the first time that I see a Far Mercy on this map in particular, but still, it is quite a rarity. And Rara jumping very high up right there to try to take that Mega, but it doesn't necessarily work out for him. Kali's gonna lose his mecha. The same goes for Banana, and he's gone instantly. RCK only picked up by the blue team. That will be ENCE taking a huge lead right off the bat. And the Fire Mercy this far working out quite fine. 76-77% of the ultimate on Reaper. So the res is definitely gonna be up when the blue team comes back again. But Wizards, they also had a slow start on Village against Mix. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. So Pulse Bomb wasn't able to get anything. And it's a kill on the Zenyatta. It's quite important for the whole engagement. Farah is also close to her ulti. Now they're contesting, but there are too many players on Spotzer. Team Wizards wasn't able to get it.
Beta once again just nuking everybody down with that Farah. Seems like it's really hard to catch up to him, and that also is quite a good point since, as I said, Veteran and Sora are mostly sticking with the Tracer and Genji. It's not going to be so easy to take down the Farah from up high. Well, actually, most of that ultimate soaks up with the defense matrix, but still, pressure is on already. And the blue team slightly on the back foot. The sound barrier used up right there. Veteran's gonna want to get the kills. The double with the Dragon Blade. And Sora's still got his Pulse Bomb ready. The Rares gets tossed out. Oh, the Pulse Bomb misses actually. That is going to be a quad mistake. That might give the edge once again over to ENCE. No, doesn't look like it. Cloudy almost dead. Ripper also falls down. RCK with a recall and just survive a little bit longer. Kali losing his mech, he's also dead. And yeah, that's going to be a clean sweep. That's back to the hands of Wizards once again. A slow start in Village. When the enemy team gets from 80 to 99%, they take that one back.
As usual. So now they're quite aggressive, trying to buy some time. Oh, Reaper quite low, and Diva finished her off.
It's usually so hard to get a grasp on that on a Farah, and apparently using the ultimate, using the rocket barrage was a mistake. Because that was one moment that they had to stay in one place. It got soaked up by the defense matrix and he was immobilized, so of course everybody took him down. While when he's flying around with Ripper, it's real hard for Wizards to deal with it, having no heroes like Soldier.
Waiting after Transcendence. Also, Lucio was picked off. And there are some follow-up picks.
Using Beto and with the Discord orb on him, it's gotta be a Dead Mercy, although stays alive as much as possible, just squeezing out time in there. And okay, it's gonna be back to the equalizer right now. Both the teams will have roughly exact same percentage, and it all goes down to the team fight apparently.
Rocket Rush could be ready in some time.
Laura is, it's RCK. Right on the flank right there, so I not expect him, but he's just, packing his bullets from the pulse gun straight into the defense matrix. Beto with the rocket barrage gets a double kill and jumps straight up towards the point right after, still having the Mercy right behind him. Support Mercy does have the res up. This could be it. This could be ENCE taking the first point, and this, okay, never mind. Will not just yet be better at the very last second.
Ooh, we got a kill, and he's really low. But is it enough? Jumping in once again, but ENCE got some kills, and they also have the rest, so I think that's it. Ooh, Primal Rage also popping from Winston.
Just as possible.
But he's off the spot.
Yeah, he's gonna be eliminated from the spot with Sora going down. Everything's over. That's 1-0 in favor of ENCE. But I mean, Wizards Club did not give up until the very last moment. I once again have that feeling that if they manage to survive until the next village, if they don't lose 0-3, they might be the ones to take it.
Okay, now they changed for Soldier. Wizards Club. Because Far was too much of a hassle. So, okay, change back actually.
Yeah,
Still
but
trying to ignore.
Might be a pick they will go for eventually at some point.
I also changed Pharaoh and say so they won't struggle with her. So let's see how this is going out. Zenyatta from Team Wizards Club was quite low. And that's the first pick.
Yep, that's going to be Clarity and Trick Wide continuing, just trying to push the enemies away, and both the healers falling back towards the respawn already. And I mean, the Shrine is not a bad point, definitely, for Farah Mercy. It's one of the more common points on the PAL where you see that setup actually. We decided to switch away. Interesting, but it's working, so ENCE just try to probably keep themselves as unpredictable as possible and to catch Wizards off guard. RCK trying to flank around, and he has got the pulse bomb and sticks it over to Devo, who doesn't even die to it. And that's only the mecha lost. Banana is still alive out there. Nobody to jump on towards a Beto with his back turned, and the blue team's just demolishing this team fight. Great setup from RCK, but unfortunately he's not really done anything with that Tracer, who was supposed to be the key.
Yeah, Diva didn't kill anybody while flying in there. So, also nicely played by the Diva. And now, let's see what they will use. Also have the pulse from Sora, placed it, but also wasn't able to get a kill. Thunder Ray from Cloudy.
A very good one right on point right there, and now Nikonga even jumps out. That's not a bad self-destruct, although nobody gets hit by it. And War Rage to zone everybody out, just the private rage, and there's going to be some good percentage soaked up by Wizards Club. A very good take right here. Now they toss out that, well, a self-destruct that even kills RCK right there. They had a room right next so that they could hide in. and they were pretty much pushed back to the respawn. No point in dying right there, but the the Tracer dies again. I'm slightly disappointed by RCK this far on Shrine.
So, Sora will try to get the sticky on somebody from ENCE. See if he's able to just end the engagement before it starts. Looking for that kill. Or it shoots RCK quite low.
Yeah, oh, once again gets hit in the head, I think. Out there, and well, at the end of the day, survive. But Cloudy's not as lucky. The Miniconga's also gone. Ripper to get that kill. The Zenyatas are definitely wreaking havoc, but Callie's going to be the one to chime in right next. Vananra still got the mecha. Actually, not necessarily as he jumps away.
Moreover, it's the last fight. And, are they able? No. There are too many kills for Team ENCE, so they're able to get spot. Just in time.
Only Vanara surviving out there a little bit longer. I think it was Shabadas who also was around, but he decided to suicide. Not mistake. Now, they regroup and they're coming in. It's important they do get 2 shots at retake at this point, so they do have a little bit of time, and this time the pulse pump is so much more effective from RCK. I have to excuse him for what I said a little bit earlier. Veteran also in the middle of the fray, but with the Discord orb on him, and the deflect cannot actually deflect 360 degrees. Being hit from all the places. Had to die finally.
My ultimate is ready.
So, Blade could do something. I mean, there's the sound barrier to block it. So, let's see if he's able to get the kills. Veteran. And it's also the last fight.
Luckily enough is able to jump out from his death right there with the primal rage. Now he's the one that's tanky. The other one, the other Winston's ultimate is run out, but they're all dead, so it's not making a difference. Just one single person left alive at the end of the team fight for Wizards Club. That's gonna be 0-2 after Shrine, and it all goes down to Sanctum. If they cannot win it, they're not gonna get another shot on Village, and they will have lost the first map here.
Let's see if they make any adjustments. Okay, we see the Zarya. Team Wizards Club.
Yeah, for Vananra, that the Diva surely was not as successful in Shrine, so decides to swap it around a tiny bit. I liked his Zarya definitely in the previous matchup, so why not? Let's test it out. Although, is Nepal the place you want her to be?
On the other side, and say didn't change anything. So engagement starts. And actually there's the first break from Sora.
Oh.
From Beto.
RCK is also dead. Better engineer to take this one for himself. And the enemy team already pushed back. The point isn't yet even open. There's no point in anybody sitting out there. And Banana to just keep them at bay with the open barrier.
Engagement starting. And Beto working on Sora.
Ellie out of the mecha will be able to survive a little bit longer and even charges up a little bit of that mecha back. Now shooting it down with that tiny gun, nobody focusing on towards the Diva. I'm quite surprised. Sora to get the kill with the pulse bomb. The suicide from Cloudy. Yeah, Veteran and Sora. The DPS is once again on point for Wizards, but this time finally actually for a little bit longer than just one fight.
And Blade is up. So there's a possibility for Wizards Club to just win the next engagement with that Blade. See, he is ready, he is jumping in, but the Blade gets countered by the Transcendence.
Yeah, but they're still all their ultimates. The Prime Rage got charged up. Rabadon Surge is there. And still nobody really able to get through the defense of Wizards. Even though they're not really winning the fights, there's nobody taking the points. Talking about ENCE.
Zarya backing off. And now they left it. But they pushed it far. 70%. Also, for ENCE, only the sound barrier is there for the Graviton Surge to counter from Team Wizards Club.
Well, RCK might try to run out of it with a Swift Strike, then use the Dragon Blade to completely outplay
Or
the
he gets
out
killed.
team. Yeah, he gets killed real quickly. Cloudy losing more than half of his HP in a blink of an eye. Then he's gone. Sora completely misses the pulse bomb, but not like it makes a difference since there was nobody there anyway to be killed. Woolridge, veteran, continue it up. Wizards finally growing strong. Really seems like they will be the ones to take the Sanctum unless something powerful comes out from ENCE in the last chance that they have. And this is right now. They have Transcendence, the Sound Barrier, as you mentioned already from Trickwide. RCK still holding onto the Dragon Blade, but they're very far away from the Visor. Blade only has 10% on it. Maybe Cloudy. The Graviton Surge is on them, and not much is done. They're the ones to get the kills, actually. So indeed, RCK, as soon as the Graviton Surge goes down, just use up the Dragon Blade, hops into the enemies and slashes them down. And they even chase them down towards that chamber in front of the Sanctum. And
Get more time. They also changed to triple DPS, and Kali is not running his Diva anymore. Cloudy waiting. Okay.
Primal Rage and Pulse Bomb ready already. Could be enough to just steer clear the enemies at
There's
that
the Dragon
point.
Blade.
It's wow, that's a quick entrance from Veteran. Sora once again just as much as possible. It is working out whenever they are doing something. This would be it. This will be it. The first point going over to Wizards Club is here and now. Thank you.
Round 3, 1.
I believe in Wizards.
Score. 1.
See if they're able to make the comeback.
Oh yeah, after all, you called the 2-1 in their favor. And I also think, like, with Lee Jong Tower and Nepal being in the pool right there, that's a good shot at them taking Suzy the 2-1. But if they're struggling so much on Nepal, it's big question mark behind that Lee Jong Tower. And also, Route 66, the first time that we see it today, when teams pick it.
My ultimate is charging.
Maybe some Sombra play.
Oh,
But,
surely possible.
And then they never used her. So if they're not able to execute her, why would you try to?
Nice thing. There we go. Kicking off with the first team fight, and right off the bat, RCK slightly forced to fall back. Oh, Zoro! Almost dead. The recall. The last
That
one's
was
better.
close.
Losing a lot of HP out there with everybody poking around. The ultimate's already charged up for some people, which is huge. Right, so it's 60 on the Visor, and Zoro was the closest one to have but he dies the first, and that's all of a sudden a clean sweep. Everybody was so even and losing HP here and there on both Plays and Wizard side, but then they just go ham, just go monster mode and win. First battle for the point. Shrine could be 3-1 very easily. In my opinion, Village was much closer than Shrine for Wizards right here.
Yeah. Kali also changed back to Diva, running a double DPS right now. Let's see. And there's the blade from Veteran.
Veteran manages to hold himself on the map, but just not using the blade at all. Just swept it once or twice. Just one time. Matters though, and Sora fixing his mistakes, and that could and will be enough to take over Kali. Also, when he's out of the mecha, he's as good as dead. Ah,
Just
they're
stalling
just
that baby diva.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's so perfect for Team Wizards Club. Already got the point. We're able to do that.
Shabbat throws her out of the map. So cruel right there. That's how it is.
Nice. Hi there.
Huge delay, and this will even everything out completely. By the time NC arrive right here, it will be roughly 40 to 40.
Claudio also has his primal rage ready. Ooh, Beta immediately gets deleted while using
Oh.
his ultimate.
Minigungo was trying to jump out of the point, and he was helped by the explosion of Diva's mecha. Kali loses his mecha actually, but already after the fight, and matters so much. You can see that the other suicide to get one immediately. Alright, full rage, excuse me. He's jumping in and jumping out instantly, but dead to the pulse bomb. And great, ENCE is just so great at catching the enemies off guard right here. Whenever wizards want to do something, they're instantly countered.
Really close match.
Sure, though there are no ultimates ready for ENCE right now. This could be tough.
Dragon Blades. Sees the Zenyatta.
Wasted, doesn't do anything. Sora already out of the ultra that was supposed to be crucial to this team fight. But actually, they give up the point for free. With now RCK dying. And they're falling back even further. So now ENCE just feel the pressure.
Yeah, the Beta just ult, I think. This is what now they have some ults up, able to engage in them. Also knowing that Dragon Blade is ready from Veteran, and they have sound barrier for it right now.
And both resistance is actually going down to one place. That's a grab the surge. The Dragon Blade, everything tossed out right at the same moment. Sora get the kill, a ripper. That's the only thing that happens. Finding Veteran being able to grab a kill with that Dragon Blade of his, we've been waiting for him for quite a long time. Cloud, the guy to do something on the line of events. Say this will be a point for Wizards. Although the overtime might have been extended for a little bit longer. But yeah, Ripper barely not making it with the Sombra. But still, the point would have belonged to Wizards no matter what. This is going to be the final round, and it is going to be on Village, right? No, we're back to Sanctum, actually.
Ooh, this could be it, ladies and gentlemen. We also say the Zarya once again on Wizards Club, like on that last map, decided that Diva isn't that good for that team, and we're able to get back to a 2-2 with that decision.
The Zarya previously did not work out so well here, and well, it didn't have to. Veteran and Sora were completely on point, so that's the thing. They can even make it better if Banana does a good effort with the Zarya. Fighter from behind though, a great flank. You can already see people getting tagged down so heavily by him. Sora almost edged that, it's going to fall, clouding in the face of the entirety of the enemy team. And Veteran is going to jump away with a Swiss strike, luckily enough for himself, but they already lost enough people to give up the point over to ENCE. But ENCE, they almost always had the initial strike, but as you could see on the previous try, they were not able to hold on to it. That's the tricky part.
It's quite interesting, because you could assume how the first engagement goes, and it will define the whole series, but it's not like this. Sora also close to his pulse bomb. Charging it. Oh, gets killed.
Ali RCK, trick wide once again. They're the ones finding the eliminations. RCK also jumping in with the deflect to limit the percentage of ultimates the enemies are going to get to just push them back further and further. Ali, good spot right there. He's got the pulse bomb ready too. But be lethal. Oh, will not be lethal. Actually misses it. It's not sticking towards anyone. I thought that Lucio would fall on top of it, but it happens too. RCK helps, tries to fix the mistakes. Banana also pretty helpless right there against the Transcendence in his fight. And RCK once again aggressively jumping out like everybody's zoned out. and the blue team has to regroup. Wizards, they were so strong, they were unbeatable on the Sanctum just a moment ago. In my opinion, they were a little bit lucky that it was not Village again, because it would probably be easier for them to win Sanctum than Village, but they're helpless here.
Now we have the Blade from RCK. He's running into a sound barrier. Also Blade from Veteran.
Actually,
And
the sound
since
barrier
then-
away from points on the red side, so you have to keep that in mind. So the people that were on point were left without any additional HP, up against 4 people from the lineup of Wizards. So finally some mistake made by ENCE, and it's immediately completely abused by the Blues. And just take a look at their position coming in from behind, from the respawn side. And they will completely surprise the enemy lineup. That's good to get a little bit of percentage, but if something goes wrong right here, Kali getting a kill right there. Kali with another one. The Tracer works out. Benzo completely up against the wall. Had to get killed off by the Primal Rage of all rages. But then Primal Rage is also on the point from the other side. It ends at the exact same time as Rage uses his ultimate's effect. And there's a Lucio to heal up that Winston not for too long though. Sora trying to follow up. Kali surrounded, being shot at from 2 sides.
But he has no heal.
It's a Harmon Orb on him. And Kanga trying to help out as much as possible, but he's mostly missing his shots. A little bit unlucky. This one Orb is baked out, and instantly after a good strike, RCK also has to get away from the point. He's going to lose his life once again. They will have to regroup, but they got really close. That was a good offense right there from Kali. But they didn't manage to take over the points. They didn't manage to win the fights. It's nearly back to an equal point here. It's 89% to 70. Not a big difference, really.
Extremely intense, those games. We have a Pulseball coming out, making a kill. But on both sides, so it's 5v5. Are they trying to engage? They are. And we also have the Dragon Blade from
Manra no Mecha.
Veteran. Got a pick there. But Lucio also quite isolated. Could get that. And it's 90%. So
Manra did not have the mecha for the entirety of this fight, but already he's charging it up. Nobody focused and nobody was able to break through to take care of that D.Va. Now the mecha's coming through, and Sora also with the Pops Bomb again. There's the self-destruct. Manra gets the kill on Trickmine. Bullridge trying to do as much as possible, and of course he's doing a lot. He's countering that Genji so hard. Genji in close quarters up against the Winston. You wish you would win ENCE, and that will be a D-fight favoring the blue team. What? D.Va clashing with the Winston mid-air, tossing him out into the abyss, winning the map for the Spanish team. Wizards, they do take it 3-2, a little bit unexpectedly, but, well, a job definitely perfectly done.
what a comeback. And great play of the game from Reaper here.
An amazing
Well.
percentage to block so many ults out there.
What a match.
What a
So-
match indeed.
Let's see what will be the next map. Will it be Lichang Tower or Route 66?
It is ENCE you get to choose, so I would expect a Road 66 from them, but seeing how they've done on Nepal, wouldn't necessarily be surprised with Lijiang Tower. It could go down to another 5-map battle in there. And maybe they're still thinking about it themselves because they're not giving us an answer too quickly. Better make a good decision now.
I mean, if they would lose, they would have a second chance for
Yeah.
coming back with the losers bracket. But still, you would like to have the wins first. Get as far as possible.
Yeah, you always have the additional confidence, and it's so much easier when you can just look down on your enemies, how they're playing in the other matches. You can just prepare for them, you can rest a little bit. And that is a good thing to have up your sleeve. But there's no there's no solid advantage. If you are in the grand finals from the upper brackets, it's still just a best of 3 like any other would be. You don't get a map advantage, a veto advantage or anything.
But it actually will be Lijiang Tower.
Oh, okay. It is Li Jiang, picked by ENCE. We mentioned how it probably, most likely, would be a 2-1 after this best of 3, but there is a chance that it will be 2-0 in favor of Wizards. However, you saw how close Nepal was. So anyone can take it, really. It's anybody's map at this stage. But if it is a map for Wizards, then it's also a map and match. And that's what's important here.
What compositions do you expect from the teams? Will it be similar to Nepal?
I think it should be similar, but there are some openings to go for different heroes actually in here. For instance, probably a soldier would be more likely on a Legion Tower than on Nepal, seeing what kind of gameplays they played, especially on like Control Tower maybe. And there is a chance to see a Roadhog in here on Legion Tower maybe too. We'll find out when we get there.
Or Far Mercy could also be possible. So, yeah,
Control
in here.
Tower first.
Sorry.
So we'll see. And for now, nobody's showing anything surprising. Vanara, for a moment at least, hovers over that Hanzo. And yeah, on Control Tower, there is a chance that the Hanzo will show up for a moment, maybe. But not sure if he wants to stick to it.
Yeah, would be quite interesting, but something different. And we also see the soldier. There are a lot of opportunities for the soldier to send, and he switched the Hanzo. Peace bets.
Yeah. But it's definitely not impossible, so maybe in the future, maybe later, maybe on another point like that. RCK going low multiple times already, but once again getting healed up, and he will be able to survive. And he's charging up the ultimate quite quickly, but Sora is so much better on that. Sora, definitely an impressive tracer in the entire matchup this far. 75% of the pulse bomb. Veteran Jr. also doing a good job with the Genji of his. And Beito's playing a soldier, so as I mentioned, there's a big possibility of going for a soldier right here. Oh, the pulse bomb, yeah, was achieved by Sora pretty quickly, but also pretty quickly wasted.
Yeah, it's always better to just use it and not sit on it. Ooh, but there's so many kills! Actually, the sound barrier wasn't that needed. But the blade from Return just killed everybody.
Yep, an amazing Dragon Blade, and right now the enemy team's just trying to group up. Once again, ENCE will be trying to collect the mines, and finally Wizards start off strong, because that's a thing that we've not really seen so often on Nepal. Only once on the first point that they've taken on the first Sanctum worked out on the initial attack there. Now the Transcendence goes out, and remember they're down that sound barrier as I mentioned. It wasn't so necessary previously, but they're winning the team fight again no matter what. Veteran once again with a triple kill. He's just racking up all the eliminations for himself.
Having a good Genji on their team, so important. Also their focus fire for sure. But ENCE has so many ults to attack, so let's see if they are able to win the engagement with them.
Self-destruct, stopping them right off the bat though. Woolridge also getting a kill, and in a 6v4, they're still able to pull themselves back up with Beito and his good soldier performance.
They're pushing to the point.
Oh, Tactical Visor And nobody's really able to stop him, although he has to focus on Woolridge for a lot of time, so it's not really used offensively. It's just to get rid of that Winston Banana, though. Loses the mecha. RCK just behind them. They didn't notice him. So good movement with that. Tracer forces the enemies to go down one after another. And finally, it seems like ENCE will be taking that point over. Let's just take a look at the percentage. Almost 85.
They have played to engage. Wizards Club. But there's a Transcendence, so it should do that much. Yeah, self-destruct. And yeah, somebody deceived. Fortunately.
There we are. The red team rolling over.
Am I able to pause? I can't pause.
No, I can't either.
This is gonna make you feel better.
Time to read my APM.
Alright, so it seems like both the teams will be seeing it out right now to make a fair play, but
yeah.
Paul's still not coming in.
I think Observer doesn't have his chat on.
Oh yeah, might be.
Hiya. Hi.
Okay. Now the shields from Winston's are going down, and are they? Wait. Oh.
They need to
players
restart the
is it
match.
now? It is just the first point. It's not going to be so destructive, but still 83% racked up by Wizards.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt to have to replay that.
Optical visor is charging.
My ultimate is charging.
Let's get you healed up.
Yeah,
Time to heal up.
sadly.
And it's not even coming back still. So I guess that's just gonna be ENCE wrapping it up until we probably restart. Just take a look at that. Actually, his Wizards not doing so bad in that team fight. Don't want to call it winning just yet. But Cloudy was away from it while the rest of the team has gone down. A good position though with that shield on top of him. Nobody could reach him really except for the enemy Winston.
They're actually able to cap the point. I would be
Or are
interested.
they trick points stopping it
There's
for a
the
level
Visor.
up again? No, they cannot take the point just yet. Visor from Beta stops it completely better and actually switched over to the soldier himself instead of continuing on Genji like he did earlier on. The guy that's missing is another player apparently on the Spanish
They're actually
side.
able to take the point. Maybe because they're just playing around, you know. Because it surely won't.
My ultimate is charging.
They have to restart it. That's just unfair. I mean, still, if they get the points, that would be so strange. But no.
Oh, Callie. Wow, they're winning the fight again! Only the tanks are left out there. Can you believe it? Callie's also losing his mecha. And, well, will he get
What?
killed off?
They
Yes, he
actually
will.
get the
The
point.
overtime's going down. They won the point. Playing 5v6. Come on.
Yeah, but maybe because of ENCE, ENCE just
1-0.
yeah
Not sure. I don't know.
didn't play as their best. Yeah, alright.
Oi! This is no time for standing around.
Someone's going to put a stop to your illegal activities. You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay, BTL then.
Yeah, the fun thing about Overwatch is that pause is not on P and not on pause. It's a strange combination from keys, and you have to bind it before
Oh.
you observe. It happened to me.
Okay, I never was adminning a match, so I'm lucky that I didn't have to find it out the hard way. But yeah, a little bit unfortunate in here. However, I don't know. Did it finish well? As you said, maybe ENCE felt bad, so they gave up the point to the enemy team. But I don't know if we can really call it that. It was just a series of two good ultimates, a good self-destruct from a diva, and wasn't it the Dragon Blade that got them the first cap? I think it was the Dragon Blade, but then he switched over to
Yeah.
Soldier right after.
So I think they have to restart it. They can't just take it. Would be strange.
Yeah, but it's probably going to be fine to just say it's 1-0 and continue. But then it's going to be a little bit more tricky if we kick off with the control tower again, right?
Yeah,
Then it'll be a
true.
little bit weird.
So, well, was it strong going? Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So during the pause, and apparently it is, as it is already such a long one, as we're missing the Zenyatta for quite a bit of time, we can once again show the introductory videos of the teams just to fill in a little bit of time and be ready to come back with the map.
Muchas gracias, muchas gracias.
Okay, we are back, and apparently the teams are also back, and we should be hopping into the map again. Okay,
Well, they're just
we
tying
are,
it.
we are.
They're playing it. That is 1-0 for Wizards Club because they're fine with that, and that way they would just let Wizards keep the point and wait, and then go on. Yeah, that was the plan. So this round won't be interesting to cast at all.
Wait a
So we
moment.
could show the
Okay.
emotes, I don't know, or whatever, and talk about what we could see in the next map.
Yeah, that's gonna be that way. I like reading through the chat. I thought that at one point ENCE said something like, "We give you 1 point so we can play Control Center again," because they maybe wanted it or something. But no, that's not the case. So yeah.
And they just started the map and Control Center came up first. Now they're playing it that way.
So next up, on the previous one, I think I caught a glimpse before we went back to lobby. It was Night Market. And here we'll see if it's the same or if it's going to be Garden, actually.
Pact of no aggression, please. Yeah, I also love it when people. I mean, I don't love it. It just happens. But if somebody leaves the game and there's only 2 people left, and then just everybody doesn't attack anyone, and that just kept them the game. That's a peaceful act. Did that happen to you?
A couple of times, the pacts of non-aggression that the players are talking about right here, yeah, did happen, but always there is this one guy that will.
Yeah, sure.
Try to
And the
break
play
the
of the
fun
game
too.
is just so funny because everyone is standing and dancing, and somebody just goes there and melts everybody.
Yeah. Now that they have the chance to show off their recess
Yeah,
skins
like
and
this.
stuff like that. Oh yeah. Oh man.
And that will be play of the game. I hope it, because it's just so funny to watch.
There's a huge chance it will be played again, such after all 4 kills. Someone will have to go real ham with like a dragon blade with a nano boost or something to top
Yeah.
that.
They wrote Red Wedding. Nice Game of Thrones reference there. So,
Benched instantly after. So they're kicking the player after the match, alright. Okay, getting on towards the second point, and it is night market too, so alright, nothing changes. It's just like it would be normally.
nice play of the game, check it. So, yeah, it's interesting that ENCE decided it's okay. You can take a 1-0.
Yeah, I mean they could try to brag it out, but I guess there's no point in it. After all, if they didn't want to give up the first point, they could have just tried to overpower it 6v5 and win it.
Yeah. So they actually tried to win, but didn't. Ooh, Sora quite low.
Alright, Easton out. That's going to be an interesting fight right here on the night market. For now, we've got Beto and Ripper getting the kills. It's going to be the red team taking it over completely. ENCE, they lost the first point, but they don't intend in the tiniest bit to lose the second one, too. And only the Tracer just hopping around somewhere out there. It's Sora trying to charge up his ultimate. And once again, as always, he's one of the best people to just charge up that pulse bomb instantly. It was a victorious fight for the red team. So he's justified to be a little bit behind RCK, but he's just 4% behind.
Yeah. It's just head to head. Oh, pulse bomb coming out. Demacking the Diva instantly. And Sen was also quite low. Gets killed.
Calling. The kill on Woolridge is definitely going to matter a lot without the Winston. Not much power that you have out there, especially when there also is no mecha.
And there's the Wiser, but it gets countered by Sound Barrier. Also self-destruct, but not getting anybody.
Also pretty badly tossed right there, straight into the corner. Everybody could easily hide away from it. But there we go, some Primal Rages going out and not really necessarily doing too much. Veteran though with the Dragon Blade trying to cut everyone down, but he only gets a single kill before he gets shot down by Beta. Beta very low on health on the other hand himself, but he manages to heal up somehow. Banana and Sora are both going to go down at the same time, and Sora, at the moment of his death, he got the Pulse Bomb ready, so a bit unlucky one could say, but then he's going to have it to try and retake the points after all.
Oh no, the Winston got staggered a lot. Could have executed himself, but decided to run away. So it will be 5v6, but they won such engagements in the last map, so...
Only 10% though remaining. It's gonna be real tough. It's all gonna be an overtime. And Minikunga is actually pretty far away, and that one Zenyatta of his, he might not even be able to make it to the overtime. But luckily enough, they do have always to do that, but instantly Wolfrich dies. And then Banana missing the self-destruct, if I'm not mistaken, right there. Also pretty disappointing. Now there's the self-destruct from the other side, and also not getting any kills, but definitely zoning the enemies away quite efficiently. Sora down without doing too much out there, and Vinandra tossed away alongside with the mecha, and he jumps out to die. So that's going to be the first point for ENCE. Very confidently, very convincingly, 100% to 0. Yeah, giving up that control center does not seem to be such a big issue.
Actually. Yeah, interesting. Or a bit ballsy to do that. But they made the comeback. And it's 1-1. We also see the far mercy that I expected from Team ENCE. And on the other side, veteran on soldier, because they're expecting the far mercy. So maybe they're able to win that game with the pharmacy. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, Foremost is definitely something I would expect coming into the garden. And the teams are quite hesitant going for this lineup that only showed up on Village, on Nepal, and now it's garden here on Lijiang Tower. Banana also finding a kill in Trickwide, so Lucio, the one hero that's extremely important in nowadays meta, is already eliminated on the red side, while Shevadas, he's going rampant himself. Cloudy gone. Fatal, you losing a lot of HP. That Farah real close to dying, but Melvin jumps straight into Mercy.
My tactical visor is charging.
But the point's still taken over by Wizards. And yeah, it was Wizards winning control center, then we transferred over to Night Market where ENCE crushed them completely, and now Wizards are the first ones to gain control in the garden.
Farah going behind them. Also close to Rocket Barrage. And Bob's support ultis got pulled off. So there's no way to counter that. Gets a kill.
Oh man, I was talking about how there is a possibility to see Roadhog in here, but Beto's doing such a good job of throwing people out of the map with his Farah. A sound barrier was sourced out, and yeah, Veteran just got his tactical visor up, and he was knocked out of the map by the Farah, then into a rocket barrage that killed another person, completely destroying the lineup of the Spaniards.
So for now, they might try to engage with Wiser, but they will get countered by the sound barrier. Focusing. Okay, he gets no kills. And there are 2 kills for Team ENCE. So this engagement is definitely over.
RCK been trying to chase people down, getting a kill on Sora, charging up his pulse bomb even more and more and more, and Banana once again just falling down to his death with the mecha.
We also have Raz for Reaper.
Okay, Sora,
Ooh,
not too bad
Trace is
positioning, just stick like that, yeah.
So trying to charge up his nice self-destruct from the D.Va. But there's the res.
Straight into a res, yeah. Veteran also getting a kill on Cloudy out there before that res has come down. Bull Rage, Sora finding the frags again. They're just trying to return the favor. They're just trying to keep the advantage on their side. But can they do that? Yes, they are overpowering the lineup. ENCE, Kali loses his mecha. He's going to lose his life too. RCK trying to avoid as much damage as possible, but he's completely closed out to the middle of the point by 3-4 people. And now the Winston jumps through, so it's still not possible for the blue team to take the points. 92%. And finally, Wizards close it out.
Yeah, they tried to push it as far as possible. Got some more percentage over there. Sora now attacking RCK. Got quite low. And the Rocket Barrage will be something. It could do much. And there's also the sound barrier.
Yep, that's a very detonata.
Yeah, Soldier is still up, and Soldier killed Mercy. But Farah was able to
Farah.
get a kill, at least.
Farah's still staying alive out there. Very, very long time delivering the damage. Shabasis kills the other Lucio. Wall Rage going rampaging now with the Winston.
I'm switching to Soldier
My ultimate is almost ready.
for the last engagement.
Oh, Sora Was
Oh.
trying to find some good positioning for himself, had the pulse bomb charged up and died to RCK in a 1v1. Very unlucky. Self-destruct comes through. It's not gonna scathe anybody out there. Shavadas was the only one that was in danger, but he hit himself behind a pillar. On trick wide, knocked away by the enemy Lucio. He's just getting demolished by Shavadas. Shavadas clearly the better dealer in here. And finally RCK replies. RCK who was able to destroy Sora in a 1v1. He's the one that charged up his pulse bomb and he's the one that successfully flanked him. Now Shavadas is trying to jump in as quickly as possible, but it's not quick enough. Will be 2-1 in favor of ENCE with a good start from Wizards Club and with a good hold onto the point for Wizards Club. But at the end of the day, it is ENCE who secured the second point for themselves. And back to Night Market that they dominated so much. This could very much be a 3-1 after this one.
Maybe they changed something in the lineup, but doesn't look like it. And then they could tie it to 1 against 1-1. So.
Let's see. Chances are running out for Wizards if they don't do it here. But if they win this point, it's very much likely that they will get a good shot at winning the remaining one.
So we're quite low. Okay, there are some picks from ENCE. Working on the rest of the team.
Cloudy actually killing the enemies in Yada with the impact of the jump out there, and that's something that doesn't happen so often. Ripper charging up the shots with his Zenyatta and delivers a little bit of damage, but he is in danger himself. Will finally fall to Wall Rage. RCK though, right before that happened, kills Veteran, and Veteran, you remember how effective and important he was with the Dragon Blades of his Genji. And this is gonna be ENCE taking control of Night Market again. Will they win 2 markets consistently, consecutively, with not losing a single percent?
Let's see. Tactical Wiser could be ready in a few seconds. They're able to desuit the Diva. This could be massive. He actually just pops it. And is looking for the kills. Diva gets demaxed. There are a lot of kills for ENCE. Also a nice pulse pop from RCK.
It all was down to just Shavadas and Minikonga, if I'm not mistaken. Right now they're trying to group up and will be going for yet another strike. 65% at least before they make it there, and then they have to take over the point with the team fight. That's going to be at least 80 in favor of ENCE right here. There's a good self-destruct, actually, not getting the kills, but definitely scaring the enemies away. 3 of them jumped in and immediately had to pop away. Sora managing to win the fight against RCK, returning the favor from God, but doesn't make a difference since the rest of his team has completely lost it out. Sora jumping in all alone, 1v3. But tries to chip that damage in. Oh, there's the Discord orb on Lucio, and Lucio goes down actually. And oh, he's got a good position to come in from behind. Sora, such a big thorn in the side of ENCE right now. And the percentage is not gonna be there. Just take a look at that. Finally taking the point. Wow, 97 in favor of ENCE. And it is now ticking for Wizards for once on Night Market.
It's going to be tough. They are not allowed to lose one single engagement. They could survive the next one with the Transcendence and 4 ults in the defense, but will ENCE be able to do something interesting? So we're working on the Lucio.
Yeah, that mech is definitely gone. Actually, self-destruct right off that. Going to earn a lot of good time.
Sora quite greedy, but was able to get back. And so now they have high noon. So let's see if he's able to do some kills with that, or just zoning. This pops off. Okay,
Yeah.
there's the high noon. Possibilities there.
Oh, from behind!
Yeah.
RCK jumps into disrupt it as his Tracer, so veteran not getting anything with that Deadeye. And the mecha goes down, Vananara hopping around with the little diva out there, RCK bait, so they're getting the kills. Very important pulse bomb, veteran is going down, there's another mecha, and that
Nice.
self-destruct hits the mark. We've not seen a self-destruct that's gotten some kills for quite a bit of time now, but there is one, and it goes in the favor of ENCE. No, actually, the overtime, can it be? No, it cannot be extended by Sora. He gets shot down by Beto, and it will be ENCE. Oh
Looking
man.
forward to the play of the game. Please, Chunkert. Yes!
Yeah.
Traitor.
Amazing. Amazing of a play.
Those plays made him to win this round. So we will see Route 66 as the next map.
Yes. It's good. It's good that we'll finally get to see it. It was actually in the map pool for all three best of threes, and this is the first one where we'll actually experience this map. So I'm curious how it will go. Will we see the standard Reinhardt sitting on top of the garage? Probably. Since that's the most legitimate thing you can go for on this map on defense.
Maybe
But
some
then-
somber play.
Yeah, might be some summer play, but then Winston is just so valuable nowadays that it's gotta be definitely tough to actually decide to go for that Reinhardt instead. I'll see. We'll find out in just a moment.
Farmer
Just-
could be also possible, or Widow in defense with a Mercy next to her, boosting her.
Hmm.
A lot of
Although-
opportunities.
Although I would expect that Widow a little bit less than the Far Mercy maybe, but there definitely is a chance for that.
So, what do you expect and say to push it through?
Not sure, really. Both the teams have shown a lot of promise, but I'm actually gonna go for ENCE. They had a very close call on Nepal. They could have taken it 3-2 instead of Wizards. It could have been 2-0 in their favor. Right here, a little bit safer on Lijiang Tower. They gave up the point where they were in a 6v5, so that was quite weird. And it could have been a 3-0 even. So, in my opinion, it seems like ENCE had a better shot at winning this best of three this far. But Wizards are by no means weak or anything. They're really good too. It's just that ENCE are just an inch in front of them.
So, I also really like that map. Do you have any maps that you completely dislike?
That I completely dislike? I don't think so. I don't know why, but Eichenwald was like the first new added map, so I kind of weirdly disliked it because it was new, but I don't really have anything against it. No, I wouldn't say.
Okay, that's a good thing to have. So you have always fun in playing on all maps.
How about you?
Actually, I dislike King of the Hill. Because,
Oh.
yeah, I'm Anna main and I'm getting killed fast in King of the Hill. So yeah.
I see. Yeah, that could be a problem, but yeah.
Okay, we actually see Hansa, but he might pick support. Or they will... That would be so interesting.
No, I don't see a game without a Lucio. Well,
They do it, they do it! Okay, I switch.
no, yeah.
Quite like.
Not without a Lucio, maybe instead of a Zenyatta, but
Yeah.
not Lucio. Yeah, RCK is going to get killed off right off the bat by Woolridge, and the attacking team does not have too much space. They're forced back to the respawn very quickly, very easily.
Ultimate is charging.
Yeah, at the beginning of Overwatch, you would just say, come back, but now with Dive, you're able to, you're so mobile, you're able to go in there quite fast and force a lot of engagements.
That's RCK now trying to get some good positioning for himself, but Banana cashes in completely with that soldier and zones away, but the payload is still being pushed, and yeah, there is no Reinhardt indeed. 2 Winstons on both sides, so as I said, Winston are actually too valuable to get rid of him. Callie forcing the Tracer away from the field of play, but she just uses recall not to die. Sora, of course, perfect on that, on making the right decisions at the right time.
Also has postman pop. And gets the sticky on the Sen. Nope, doesn't actually. Oh, maybe he gets it.
Yeah. Payload being pushed even further, and 1 kill has gone down. Veteran getting quick healing out there. This Dragon Blade could have ended as a catastrophe for them, as he's nearly gone down before he jumped in. Finally gets shot down by Ripper actually, but I feel like Winston's done a lot of damage too. Banana though also tossing in the visor, but only getting a single kill alongside with a mecha destruction out there. Cloudy replying with the Primal Rage. Well, how is it possible that the red team is still coming out on top? The enemies
That's
are
so
diving in
interesting.
with Veteran and his Dragon Blade. Sora with good positioning on that Tracer. Banana tosses out the visor, and then just 1 single kill from Winston is able to turn it all around.
Self-destruct would also be a possibility. Ooh, shuts down Zora. And there, the Sucks comes in.
Ah, so close. Had it blown a little bit further, it would have been so much more dangerous.
Now they get pushed away from the payload once again.
Now Winston fighting it out on his ultimate against just Diva, though, I don't feel like it's the best idea. Kali lost half of his HP over the 10 seconds or more of that ultimate.
Only 1 minute left for them to push through to come to the next point.
Pulse bomb
Good.
thrown in between 3 people out there at the top of the roof, unfortunately. And here's a good one! Right into 3 people, not between them.
Oh my
Sora destroys the offense, and as you say, 1 minute, not much time left. This is going to exhaust the time bank pretty much entirely. 1 last push. That's all that
was so
remains.
needed. That was so awesome
I need healing.
from Sora.
I need healing.
And they still have Visor, both support ultimates, only support ultimates in attack. So if they play it nice, okay, Sen is getting killed. That's not that great. Actually,
The thing is, yes, Sora's ultimate was amazing, but RCK had a very similar one, but it's just like a
they tried to
millimeter.
contest one more time, but they failed. They weren't fast enough to contest it. This would have been so great if they would have done it 1 second earlier.
So unlucky right here. 4 kills in a blink of an eye, not to be able to stop them from taking the first point. But still, first point is not really a big achievement right here for ENCE, so they will not be content, they will not be satisfied. They still have to push it so much further. And for the defending team to be able to set up a defense right here, where we are right now, it's a big thing, for sure. And in front of the gate instead of behind it.
It's all about buying time.
Mm-hmm.
They did so.
RCK with a double, finally, so trying to pay back for it. That lackluster ultimate compared to what Sora's done.
Now there's a lot of space for Beto on the soldier with all that high ground. Also hiding in order to use his ultimate.
CK not a bad position, but he's given himself away without being able to really deliver the damage. It's a little bit unfortunate. There's Transcendence, there's Primal Rage, and the blue team is trying to jump in. Wizards are clawing it to try and exhaust that time bank because they've already done it once, but they were unlucky enough that they've given up the first point. But the first fight that's won by the red team is here. Kali demolishing 3 or 4 people. Now definitely at least 4 with the kill on Sora.
That's a really good Wiser from Beto.
Alright,
Much work.
not theirs yet. Veteran has the Dragon Blade, but doesn't hit people. Just jumping around and swinging his blade, not delivering the damage. Finally kills Beta, but Beta alone. And then hops on towards Strict Bite, but he only killed these 2 people after the Dragon Blade. So that's not a good ultimate at all. Kali once again just cleaning up the floor with his enemies. And another minute 45.
Yeah, they're pushing it through. There's some engagements left. How far are they able to get? Also Soldier from Team Wizards trying to flank with his Wiser. Finds a Winston. Now with the Sound Barrier, they have to do kills. Wiser is getting popped.
Okay, finds one good target, but then gets killed from behind by Kali. A little bit unlucky on this one. Now, Woodbridge has some good positioning himself, but doesn't manage to get away. Kali! How does he do this? It's the 3rd fight in a row where he gets 3 or more kills. Amazing performance with that diva. And it is a diva after all. She doesn't have like huge burst damage. He didn't get a single kill with the ultimate of his. And even in the small form, as he's lost the mecha, he's able to do much.
He is helping out his DPS a lot. Just making great value. Now, they need to stop the payload. The Wiser from Beto finds Sora, who was looking for that kill.
Transcendence is all over the place. Banana not too bad of a position out there with that Diva for a second, but then has to jump down towards the payload to stop it for as long as possible. A self-destruct right in the middle of a fray, a great one, but they're not yet able to grab it. It's not quite there. 3 meters to complete the 3rd point. Out of nowhere, out of 0.0 seconds on the 1st point, actually, where by a miracle they got that one. Kali actually loses his mecha. It's going to be a little bit of a risky situation, but RCK closes it off with a pulse bomb. Beto finishing up the very last man, Mini Gunga, and you can see his corpse right underneath the payload that was right there on the last point, right where and when it needed to be. 3-0. Unbelievable, unbelievable. They have 0 time remaining, but they had 0 time remaining already by the time they got to the 1st point.
Yeah, this is a lot what Wizards Club needs to beat right now. Maybe ENCE could end it right here at the 1st point. Just not letting them further. But Wizards Club always surprises, so
yeah.
they could do it.
They always needed to get slightly warmed up and, as you say, surprised. That's the thing that we're looking forward to right now. Because these guys, you have to admit, they got pretty unlucky on the 1st point. They already were supposed to grab the victory right there. And it would have been so easy to just secure this map. That's a 2-1. You get into the grand finals, you get the moment to rest, and you have the psychological advantage out there. But then giving up the 3 points like this, I can already say that the psychological advantage that I mentioned is on the side of ENCE for sure. The Finns must be so comfortable now.
So in defense, they decided to go for Anna on Reaper. And For now, we see a Widowmaker in attack. Let's see if it's going to change. No, he actually runs that Widow for the surprise moment. Getting that first pick, looking for it. Now they also know that there is a Widow. Not hitting the shots for now.
Yeah, but I'm also not necessarily in a position to do that. He's getting assaulted by a Genji additionally, so he's in a tough
There
spot.
it is. He also forced the Genji to go deep and just
Yeah, try to
distract the
fish for
Widow.
him, right?
Yeah.
Time to raise my
So maybe this was the pick to go for, but still they're fighting. You also have the nano boost on the Winston, which could be an engagement changer, so Wizards need to pull back.
Dragon Blade was readied up as soon as that Winston was jumping in with the nano boost, so it could be a nice counter to try and jump behind the back of that Winston, but now it is launched to the Dragon Blade with just a single kill. And with the Swiss Strike gets back, already just done a lot, allowing his team to do as they pleased. That Widowmaker still trying to shoot down, although not finding so much success, not winning our hearts over with the great headshots like on King's Row a moment ago. But
Yeah,
still
but
definitely
only
also
three
not doing
people
bad.
left. And on Winston at the payload, but they will get demolished by Wizards Club. Now they try to group up.
The infra site popped right at the end of the team fight. It's definitely not the most valuable ultimate I've seen in my life, but yeah, it's not gonna make a difference anyway.
Diva trying to contest.
Kali?
Okay, now they go in. They also have to self-destruct the zone.
Ooh, okay, so that was not such a bad idea after all. And he jumps into the back again. Self-destruct killed one person, which is one more than I expected it to do. And an arrow with a double kill, so finally the Widowmaker sees some action, but it's only her. Now the team is gone slightly. And yeah, that's the usual problem that you have in your competitive matches when you have a Widowmaker. She's not on the point, she's not pushing the payload. They are
Yeah.
so close to getting that first point. They gotta get it.
No, she's down. Killed by Cloudy. There's the Dragon Blade from the defense. There's DK, but he gets killed. And they actually made it to the payload and won the engagement in the end.
Yeah. So we might see a very similar thing to what's happened just a while ago on ENCE's attack. But ENCE will not let go, possibly, though Veteran doing such a great job right here with this Dragon Blade. Woolridge also getting rid of Trickbite, and without Trickbite it's not really possible to heal all the damage up, and it's going to be a clean sweep in favor of Wizards Club. So the first point is taken. They have a little bit more time than ENCE had. They didn't go down to an overtime, but they had like 40 seconds left if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that. But that Dragon Blade made it from Veteran. Also zoning the Ana and killing her in the end. And losing an Ana is quite crucial.
There's,
Sauron with the full spawn
Full spawn.
also killed the soldier.
very aggressive attacks right now from Wizards. The Widowmaker right there, excuse me, not the Widowmaker, but the D.Va getting in there very deep with that defense matrix. Kali, though, he's always proved to be the better D.Va, and now he's just showing it to the full extent, will he once again start getting like triple or quad kills.
Yeah, they totally need to group up with Wizards Club. And there's so many ults in the defense. We have RAZER, we have Nano, we have the self-destruct. So they should be able to hold it quite a while.
And they just used the Pulse Bomb to kill off an Anara on that D.Va. From behind, RCK jumps in, already chipping the damage in. Kali, oh, actually doesn't get a kill. The Transcendence is saved Miniconga, and there wasn't anybody else actually exposed to the damage in there. Banana though gets the kill on Trick. Quite Cloudy's gone. RCK really low on health and will get finished off by Sora. Kali instantly dead. Everybody focusing down on him, and you could see how quickly he died. That's going to be the payload pushed a little bit further. 1 minute 20 seconds. Yeah, it's definitely fine. But if once again, ENCE extended like they did just a second ago, with RCK with some good positioning, with Kali coming in from behind, this might go down to the overtime for Wizards Club finally, and then they will feel the pressure that ENCE had.
I'm curious if RCK, okay, he put out his pulse bomb, but wasn't able to kill anybody. Now the Wiser looks for the kills.
RCK, young, behind the barrier, actually he's not going to deliver any damage, but then he jumps into a Smatus and might win that one against the Lucio, especially with the help of his Diva. Ali though, with the small form, still able to chip in the gun damage. Banana are pretty far away. Same for the Zenyatta, same for the Genji. Completely zoned out, and the payload still not reached the second point. It will go down to the overtime, it has to.
Yeah, there's only the Primal Rage and the Transcendence to get through. So DPS needs to do a lot. They have the Soul ultimates, but they also need the damage.
Sound barrier coming up right now for Trickwide. It's going to be crucial. Kali also has the self-destruct right now. And immediately the first ultimate is used up. There's Transcendence, as you mentioned. That's one of the attackers also. Well, the self-destruct doesn't do much, but just take a look at the positions of the blue team. They were behind the lines of the defenders. Well, that way they were not definitely pushing the payload. And the overtime's running out. Oh, Lucio out of nowhere. That's going to extend a little bit longer. Banana also flying right on top of the Sora. Also shows up right there.
Yeah, Banana boost on the Diva. And only 3 people on the payloads. Now let's see who is able to win this engagement.
The only throw the Beta. Yeah, Banana was still alive, actually. It goes down. Of course, the overtime lasted so long that it only needed a millisecond of absence to actually close it out. That's going to be 3-1 in favor of ENCE. Can you believe it? Wizards Club. They could have had the match in their hands, which is not even 1 point taken by ENCE. With that one tiny mistake, just half a second of a difference. It's been so huge.
Yeah, that was just a nice pulse bomb.
Yeah. Closed off in their own Winston's barrier. Actually. So unlucky. Looked real ironic, and yeah, that's going to be one of the longest matches, definitely, that we'll get to experience in the Legend series, because the first King of the Hill just lasted a crazy amount of time. Then we had the remake on Lijiang Tower that also extended it so long, and now Route 66 going down to 3 points for one of the attackers, and then the others going down to the overtime at 1.5. So this is going to be ENCE actually going over to the grand finals. Am I right?
Should be,
Yeah,
yes.
that's true. That's so we have a little bit of an issue out there on the graphics, but yeah, it is ENCE in the grand finals of this group. Wizards Club will be playing in the elimination match, but first of all, we've got to figure out who's facing off against them, and that's what's coming up next: Tier 3 versus Mix. And for me, that also is going to be up. So Mix. All right, there, the Spanish team that faced off against Wizards Club, the one that you predicted to go further. Not sure how they'll face off against Tier 3, because I expected a lot more from Tier 3. Actually, they were not an invited team. They qualified right here, but they were ranked higher than Wizards actually, and they had some good performance before this tournament. So, yeah, I'm definitely expecting a lot from Tier 3. But then, as you said, Mix's today's performance might have been better. And today is all that matters after all, right?
Yeah, sure. It's going to be interesting. And you also told us that they know each other. So they also might do special picks or just focus on special players in order to get the wins.
Yeah,
Kill
as
them.
the gets into like the more advanced stages, everybody's gonna start to have an idea of how the other team is playing. So yeah, that's just gonna get more and more intense. And we already are having some intense matches in here, so it's just amazing that we'll get to see that. But also, as Wizards are in the elimination match, it would be good to see a revenge match of Mix versus Wizards, because it feels like it definitely could have gone down to a full best of 3. And would be lovely to once again see them face off against each other on King's Row, because that was the map that blew our minds, right?
Yeah, that was quite intense. And I also like to play those matches. And it's just about just so exciting. And it's just the thing that makes Overwatch so great. How exciting the matches are and how close with all those countdowns.
Yeah, always. When it just goes down to the overtime, you know this stuff's gonna happen. And overall, like the tempo of the game is just real high. That makes it completely action-packed at all times. And I had that one feeling when I was casting Overwatch for the first time, that there's not much time for idle chit-chatting, because when the game's actually happening, you have to cast the game. There's so much happening at all times. And well, when you're casting the other games, you have like periods of, in League of Legends, for instance, 10 minutes of idle chit-chatting because not much is going on. In Counter-Strike, between the rounds, every minute of gameplay, you have like 30 seconds of talking and stuff like that. In Overwatch, when the map is on, you just have the action, you just have the gameplay.
Yeah, I also casted a lot of StarCraft, and it was like this, a lot of theory crafting, and but this excitement is just also not too exciting. So you could just go home after a long day and play Overwatch for hours without getting stressed too much. It's just the right amount of stress.
Yeah, I think so too. So for now, the players for our upcoming match, Tier 3 versus Mix, are getting into the lobby. Soon we're also gonna get the other match veto, and I don't think that we're gonna get to see the 2 King of the Hills anymore in any of the remaining matches. I wouldn't be surprised if Wizards allow that to happen if they face off against ENCE in the finals again. I don't think that it will happen in here. Mix didn't have the luck on Nepal, yet they've done so well on King's Row, so they probably will want to aim at something along the lines of that.
Yeah, and Tier 3 also banned the King of the Hill maps. So it could be right. It was exciting to see some Sombra play again.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. No. Never gonna give you up.